Shalom, I'm Sakal and welcome to my channel. First, I want to let you know that I am not a teacher. I am a student. I study scripture in order to gain a better understanding, and there are questions that come up in my mind and questions that sometimes friends might ask, and so I just get studying and share my findings. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to share my findings because maybe they'll be helpful for some of you. My hope is that I am able to spur you all on to continue studying. Don't just believe what I say, just go ahead and verify it. Hopefully you'll continue to study on your own as well. So again, I am not a teacher, I am a student. So as I study, I will just put the studies out and maybe they'll help you. Especially if you are new to walking in the Torah, if you're new to knowing who you are or learning who you are and where you fit in this world and in this walk. So hopefully they'll help you because they're kind of beginner studies a little bit. So hopefully that will help you. Okay, so I also want to say that I reserve the right to change as I learn better, because when you learn better, you do better, right? And as the Most High shows me things that I haven't seen before or helps me gain better understanding, then I am happy and obligated to change and do better. Okay, so we're going to get into the study. So today's study will be short and quick, but it's just a little bit of something to start you off. So today's study is worship in spirit and truth. Okay, so let's go on over to John 4:23, and that reads, "But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such to worship him. Elohim is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth." Okay, so real quick, let me just throw these things out there for you. You might hear me use the word Elohim or Elohim, and that is the title that you would normally see or read as God. Instead of Lord, where you're reading your scriptures, capital L-O-R-D, I am going to say the name that is there, which is the Most High's name, Yahuwah. So if you hear me say Yahuwah, I'm referring to the Creator, the Eternal One. And the Spirit, in Hebrew, that is Ruach. And Ruach HaKodesh, the word Kodesh is holy or set apart would be a better way to say that. So just so you know, and then for Jesus, I say his original name, Yahusha, or Yahusha. Some people say Yeshua or Yehoshua, and none of that bothers me at all, and we shouldn't be bothered by the way someone says his name, as long as they're trying and to say it right. As we know, in our lives and in our culture and our history, that they've changed our names, and they even changed the Messiah's name too. So I want to go back and respect him and use his name. So we were at John 4:23. Let's go back there. "But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such to worship him. Elohim is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth." What does worship in spirit and truth mean? Spirit is, in Hebrew, H7307. Resh Yod Het is the Hebrew word, Ruach, which means wind, breath, mind. Think of the wind of a man, the breath of a man. Breath gives life to your being. Without a man being able to take breaths, he would die. So with every breath we take, with our lives, we are to worship. Truth. Truth is H571. That is Aleph Mem tav or tau. It is the Hebrew word emet, which means firmness, truth, stability, reliable, true doctrine, right. From the root word H539, aleph. Mem, nu, is the Hebrew. The word is aman, which means support, confirm, be faithful, to establish, make firm, sure, lasting, verified, confirm, reliable, stand firm, pillars, supports of the door. Let's see more directly what truth is in Scripture. Psalms 119, 142. It says, your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your law is truth. So what is truth in Scripture? Law. What is law? It is instructions. It is called the Torah. Maybe you didn't know that the Bible that you have, the Torah is in it. Psalms 119, 151. You are near, O Yahuwah, and all your commandments are truth. Question. When you tell your children to do something, is it a command? Go clean the kitchen, go do the dishes, go vacuum, go. Are you asking? Really? No, right? You're giving them a command. Go do something. So when Yah tells his children what things to eat and not to eat, and you eat what he says not to eat, is that keeping his commands? Is that worshiping in truth? How about when he says to keep his feast days and his Sabbaths and etc., and you don't? Is that worshiping in spirit and truth? Now, I'm not trying to, do anything except for bring out what it says. And I know many of us are like, okay, if he says it, I'll do it. If he says it, I'll do it. How about when Yah tells you who his children are and are not, for example, Revelations 2:9. He warns us. It says, I know your works, tribulation, and poverty, but you are rich. I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Yehudim or Jews and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. He repeats it the next chapter. And of course, there aren't any chapters in the books, but it comes up again quite soon. Revelations 3:9 says, indeed, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say they are Yehudi or Jews and are not, but lie. Indeed, I will make them come and worship before your feet and to know that I have loved you. Yah has a people, and there are those who say they are Jews or Yehudi. They are the chosen people and are not, to make you believe they are the descendants of Abraham. Okay, so Yah has a people, right? And there are those people who say, oh no, we're the people, we're the Yehudi, but the Most High is warning us that people will say that and they're not. They are not the bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yah talks about his children and allows for others to join them and be as the native born. Notice, Yah never says or allows for a person not a native born Israelite, descendant of Jacob, to draw near without his children. That might be hard for somebody to hear, but according to Scripture, that is where the proof is. Okay? Think about it. How can one from another nation truly learn his ways and gain understanding if they're not around his people? They will end up believing what is false instead of what is true. The only way to get through the kingdom gates, the only way to even receive an inheritance with Israel is to be with the tribe you have lived with, been amongst, attached to. Let's go to Ezekiel 47:21. Ezekiel 47:21 says, "Thus you shall divide this land among yourselves according to the tribes of Israel. It shall be that you will divide it by the lot as an inheritance for yourselves, and for the strangers who dwell among you, who bear children among you." Did you hear that? "And for the strangers who dwell among you and who bear children among you. They shall be to you as native born among the children of Israel. They shall have an inheritance with you among the tribes of Israel. And it shall be that in whatever tribe the stranger dwells, there you shall give him his inheritance, says Yahuwah Elohim." Okay, think about that. Think about that. And woe to those who know this and think that at the last minute you can join in. Like in the days of Noah, Yah will close the door and not open it just because you waited to heed the warning, to get on board when you had a chance. So, if one of another nation is not with Yah's chosen people, his true people, and are with the imposters, or even with those who are not worshiping in truth, are you worshiping in truth? If you're with another group of people, if you're not with Israel, are you worshiping in truth? True Israel. And that means they know who Yah's chosen people are for real. Okay, and if you don't know, and if you're not sure where I'm coming from, then stay tuned, because I'll have more studies that are coming up to show you who Yah's people are, and they may not be who we were taught they were. I'll leave that for another time. Let's move on. If one isn't worshiping in truth, spirit and truth, is it accepted by the Most High? Let's go to John 4:24. Elohim is Ruach. Elohim is spirit. And those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. It doesn't say just spirit or just truth. It's Ruach, spirit and truth. Now let's go to Joshua 24:14. "Now therefore fear Yahuwah. Serve him in sincerity and truth, and put away the Elohims, the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the river and in Egypt. Serve Yahuwah." Let's go to 1 Samuel 12:24. "Only fear Yahuwah and serve him in truth with all of your heart. For consider what great things he has done for you." Let's go to Psalms 25:5. "Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the Elohim of my deliverance, of my salvation." And that word is Yahusha, because in Hebrew, Yahusha means Yah is my salvation. "On you I will wait all day." Psalms 31:5. "Into your hand I commit my spirit. You have redeemed me, O Yahuwah, Elohim of truth." Psalms 51:6. "Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you will make me to know wisdom." Psalms 117:2. His merciful kindness is great towards us, and the truth of Yahuwah endures forever. Praise Yahuwah. Let's go to Isaiah 26:2. Open the gates that the righteous nation which keeps the truth may enter in. Who's entering in? The righteous nation who keeps the truth. Jeremiah 4:2a. And you shall swear, Yahuwah lives, in truth, in judgment, and in righteousness. John 4:20. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where one ought to worship. Yahusha said to her, Women, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Yahudim. But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father is seeking such worship of him. Elohim is spirit, and those who worship must worship in spirit and truth. Notice, the woman talked about the traditions of her fathers. In other words, she grew up thinking and doing all of those traditions of her fathers. Messiah told her she didn't know what she was worshiping because salvation, deliverance, is with the Yahudim. Similar to what some of us share with others today. We try to show people the truth, but they want to stick to their traditions and what they grew up with. You must worship. We must worship in spirit and truth. How could one be acceptable without the other to the Most High? It has to be both. Otherwise, we're worshiping in vain. How about Christianity? I'm so sorry. I was a Christian, and in another video, I'll tell you why I'm no longer a Christian. So how about Christianity? Is that truth? It's taught us truth, but is it? We will take a look at that another day. So let's recap. You must worship in spirit and your truth. No, absolutely not. Immediately no. The scriptures say we must worship in spirit and truth, Yah's truth, which are his laws, his statutes, and commandments. They're not done away with. So you may beg to differ, but if you keep with me for future studies, then you will see what I'm talking about. You can test it for yourself. Again, I am not a teacher. I am a student. So this was just something short and quick for you, and I hope that this encourages you to dig deeper and find out more. Please like and subscribe and share. Share with those who may be new, or whoever you want to. I just appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, Shalom.